Are we actually live?
Yes, it says live 34 seconds.
Yeah, I think we are live. How about that? Anyway,
We might be live in a parallel dimension.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that... Is that intro loud enough?
It didn't bother me any.
Yeah, it seemed okay to me.
I got to listen to it and see how it's coming out in the studio. Anyway, it is Saturday night at the Atheist on Sunday again because we have no rules. Reasons, yeah. We have no rules. We're bad people.
We have no standards because we're atheists.
We have none.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have no foundation.
Although anyone gonna quote mine that does not mean that I am advocating myself as an atheist.
Too late. It's too late. You already provided
it probably is
a chunk of evil to lift out of the content.
You're on the demon channel, so or what does Cell call us? The Satanist channel. Satanist. Yeah, we've given ourselves to Satan somehow. I don't know. I don't understand that exactly.
Yeah, he's just a little kid. He's just a little kid on the playground, just sniping at people.
It's hard to understand that Satanist accusation for atheists. You know.
Yeah.
Always have.
Given our lack of belief in any kind of paranormal,
right,
stuff.
Yeah. Icarus. First person I see with a comment, you get 1,000 bonus points.
Speed points.
Well, Vessel was there first.
Speed bumps. They're called speed bumps.
Speed bumps.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think we have anybody watching. Well, we got 7 people who are slowly dribbling in. But what was I going to do? I wonder if this works. Does this work? No. Why is that not working? I don't know. Interesting. Oh yeah, I know why.
Oh, there's Dessel. Hey, Dessel.
Anyway, that's Emma.
Okay. Well, hi, Emma.
Yep. And Emma has a thing on 14 great reasons to take black oxygen for the rest of your life. Mother Nature's perfect delivery system. And I don't know what else is.
What's it made of?
It's made of oxygen. That's black.
Are they wanting people to eat diatomaceous earth or something?
Probably. She's calling it dirt eating. A dirt eating scheme.
Our effective products also help most powerful electrolyte in existence. It's amazing they chose to start with that one because that doesn't make sense. Trace minerals. Reduces oxidative stress. It did say in addition, whereas it's already said oxidative stress. I guess they wanted an even number to make their website look nicer. Improves immune function.
So when I muted myself, I muted the video, right?
I guess.
Damn. I got to figure that one out. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure what this stuff is made of. I don't know if she gets. She's pretty thorough. So. Exciting ways to get paid. Oh my God! So it's also a pyramid scheme.
Oh no!
Oh, perfect. I don't know what else they got going. Rank event. Oh yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. Amazing. I wonder if she gets into what it is. But anyway, this video just came out. No, actually, it's been out a while. I just got a recommendation for it. So anyway, I really like it. Huh?
I said, I wonder why that is.
I don't know. I've been watching a lot of her videos, so because she's got a whole bunch of stuff on Paul and Morgan, and is really, really good at digging into it. I guess I don't know.
Okay.
Yep, and has just humorous. It's humorous content. Have a lot to learn from people like that. So anyway. Let's see.
Oh, we have an objection. We have an objection to having a show on Sunday.
What? Because it's the Sabbath?
No, it's just makes Saturday meaningless. Saturday Night the Atheist meaningless.
we already went over that, Orge. We went over that, and if you missed it, in fact, I've gone over it multiple times. We are atheists, and we have no foundation for the dating system.
See, Orge, you have no foundation for your objection because it's not based ontologically on a ground of being.
Right. Yeah. There's no way to ground your belief in what day of the week it is.
Therefore, you should rip off your T-shirt and run down the street bare-chested, screaming, "I'm free! I'm free!"
Yep.
Because you have no constraints, no standards.
So I found a Yale video by a man named Stephen Stern, who has a course on evolution. I mentioned it yesterday. And I was watching one on natural selection and how foundationally important it is to everything. And he was also talking about microevolution and macroevolution, which is primarily a historical problem, that we have to figure out a whole lot about what happened in the past. And that would be the same as figuring out where rocks came from. We lost Andrew, and he came back. Wow. I'm not sure how long Andrew was gone. Anyway, I was talking about this Yale course that I'm watching. A professor of evolutionary biology named Stephen Stern, who wrote a really good, simple textbook to go along with this course. And I think it's like a course for the other people, but I don't know. It gets pretty deep into it, but it's pretty good stuff. And he was talking about natural selection and what an interesting process it all is. That there's so it's pretty much natural selection is pretty much foundational, I think, to the entire field of biology.
Oh yeah.
Would you just disagree with that, Andrew?
I guess mildly.
Okay.
That was pretty mild.
Yeah, that's pretty mild.
That's the mildest disagreement I've heard coming from anybody.
Yeah, you haven't really said anything yet, so that's even more mild.
well, just because you can have evidence for like other types of evolution, like we were going over common ancestry, macroevolution the other day, and that doesn't really depend on specific mechanisms like natural selection, right?
Okay. But,
so or like stuff like that. And plus, I was actually looking up today some alternative views of, well, I guess not really abandoned since the past century, but like alternatives to Darwinism, Darwinian natural selection, like macromutation and directional orthogenesis and stuff like that. So
what are those things? You want to tell us about them?
So let's see. Macromutation, mutationism, saltationism, basically same thing. Let's see. 1940s. I forget his first name. Goldschmidt. I know that's his last name, but it was kind of around before then, still kicking around at low levels of the scientific community. But basically, instead of a bunch of small changes accumulating and being filtered out by natural selection, you have a few big saltational leaps or jumps, as they're called, with these macro mutations. And then orthogenesis is basically kind of what the common misconception of evolution. Oh, I'm getting some echo.
For me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm muted.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Try. Keep trying it.
Is it mine? Am I echoing? I'm having oh no.
Do you have echo cancellation selected on? Let me take a look at your settings.
Oh boy. I'm sorry.
Hang on a second. Yeah, you got echo cancellation.
Because like it's specifically coming from you on my end.
From me?
Yeah.
Do it while I'm muted.
Does it sound better to everyone else now? People from the chat?
Now, Speed, you unmute. And then as soon as now you talk.
Okay.
I mean,
talking.
Andrew, talk.
How about now? Yep, it's echoing.
Okay, there's something about it going through Speed's system that's making it. By the way,
Scott, you say something? Yeah, it's not echoing for you, Scott.
No, it's not. By the way, Icarus pointed out that Dr. Dan's 1-year-old came down with COVID this week. And let's see, his message was, want to thank anti-vaxxers for prolonging the pandemic and the FDA for being dedicated to vaccine safety. That instead of getting vaccinated 6 weeks ago, my 1-year-old got COVID this week.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
Are you still echoing?
Hey, I'm hearing it.
Huh. Where is this coming from? I have no idea.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, we got to root it out. We have nothing else to do, right?
Oh, just talk about technical problems.
Yep.
Yeah, when Scott talks, it also echoing on your end.
Me doing it.
Okay, talk for a second.
Okay, now I can talk, but you can't hear me. So let me.
I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Is it echoing?
No, it's not echoing right now, and I can hear you.
So you're not echoing anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Now the last chat we have says echo bad, but I don't know.
Is it still echoing, everyone? It isn't for me.
Okay.
How is it now, guys?
Sounds good from both of you.
Yeah.
So I think we've settled down some.
Yeah, it's well.
Okay, they say it's better.
I found it.
Huh. That's weird.
That's very interesting. Oh, well. I've got this router for audio. There's 2 of them. And there are so many options on it that it's like, oh my God. It's something called pass-through was apparently duplicating everything. So hopefully it went away. Anyway. Okay, so now oh God, what did I forget his name? Oh my God.
Here, while you're talking, I'm gonna pull something else up to demonstrate the other thing I was talking about. Give me one sec. So you keep talking for a sec.
Okay, looks like we're doing okay with the sound.
I forgot somebody. Oh my God. Richard Goldschmidt came up with Hopeful Monsters.
Yes, Richard Goldschmidt, that's his name.
Yeah. Came up with Hopeful Monsters.
Yep.
Basically, that was the idea that, something randomly appeared and it turned out to have some sort of beneficial mutation and it would, stick around. But you're still dealing with selection as far as I can tell. Otherwise, it'd go away.
Yeah.
The thing to consider, okay, suppose you had variation, so you had mutation, and you had a very large population, and there was absolutely no selection at all, that every single member of that population, no matter what they had in the way of a mutation, would survive and produce 1 offspring or 2 offspring. Okay. So what would happen if we had variation and everybody produced 2 offspring? What would happen to a species over 10,000 years? Do you think, Andrew? What do you think would happen?
If like there were only macro mutations?
No, just mutations of the genome, so that we had, the possibility of different kinds of organisms organisms popping up, but they didn't have any fit. They all had a fitness of 1. They were all exactly the same. So they all produced 2 offspring every generation.
Well, because I think the people who came up with this idea, they acknowledged that natural selection was important and that it existed. They just didn't know if it was as significant for evolutionary change as we think it is today.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
But what
are you doing?
What do you think the answer to my question is? So
No,
what would happen to the population if that happened?
It's kind of hard to think about because
there would be no species. There would every individual would, well, there would be species. They'd basically group and cluster within a population, but then they would quickly drift off and turn into something else. And so there would be massive speciation going on all over the place, and it would be uncontrolled without any kind of selection at all.
Right.
And then if you brought in selection and you said, okay, it was just at the cellular metabolic level, and it didn't matter what form the species had or what its body type was or anything like that, then you would end up with you'd still have this massive, morphological differences. Yeah. But now think about that for the Cambrian, as one of the possibilities that were going on in the Cambrian, where there were possibly suddenly a lot of resources. And so a lot of things ended up surviving if they were just metabolically, fit.
Right.
That they would, and so they would speciate fairly rapidly. And then, of course, then all of a sudden we had selective pressures that ended up grouping them together. I don't know. But, there's definitely relative fitness going on.
Right. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I'm just noting that was once an idea considered probably like early 1900s.
Yep.
And let's see, if I can share my screen, I can also show the other idea that was kind of around before that, or well, if not at the same time as that. Okay. Is this showing?
Hang on a second. Scott, can you throw that up there? Are you with me, Scott? Scott's not with me.
I'm with you. I'm having to deal with my dogs. What do you need from me?
There you go.
Look at them horses.
Okay, yeah. So it's actually kind of funny because common depiction of evolution, of course, is this linear progression, but rather than Darwinian evolution based on natural selection, this is actually based on orthogenesis, directed evolution, where basically instead of the environment playing a role or the central role, these organisms have some kind of innate tendency over long periods of time. Like, so for example, mammals, I think it's called Cope's rule. They tend to get larger and bulkier over time. Yep. But of course, we know that's not generally true. But yeah, it's actually funny because when you hear quotes from Gould or Simpson that horse evolution has been disproven, or that the textbooks about it are wrong, what they're actually referring to is this idea of orthogenesis. We know directed evolution isn't as apparent in the fossil record as we would like to believe. It's more like this, like a branching pattern, basically.
So Gould would be against directed or orthogenesis?
Yeah, I think at least some of the paleontologists around mid-1900s were starting to go against that.
Yeah. Well, Gould was, 1990, 2000, right. Whatever.
Maybe it wasn't Gould. Maybe it was Jay Simpson.
Okay.
I don't have the names memorized, unfortunately.
Yeah, it turns out that there's a lot of mechanisms like genetic drift,
Right,
neutral
that's it.
evolution, which is neutral evolution is actually a kind of selection, meaning zero selection, no selection at all. Things would obey the Hardy-Weinberg, or is it Hardy what?
Well, in either case, no, they wouldn't follow Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium.
They would if there was no selected pressure at all.
Well, right. Well, in order for the equilibrium to exist, though, you have to have all 5 factors, not just natural selection, out of the way.
Well,
So genetic drift and mutation and things of that nature, you have to have that ignored as well.
Hardy-Weinberg. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, you'd have to ignore it. So you have to have a very large population, which eliminates drift.
Right.
Okay. And then you have to have no mating pressure, no selected pressure.
No gene flow.
No gene flow. Then you end up with Hardy-Weinberg, yeah. And then there's punctuated equilibrium, and but the thing is that in reality there are a number of other things like physical constraints.
Right.
Like that rule you're talking about for size of an organism. The organisms can get to a certain size, and then because of physical constraints, they can't go any further. And then there's what do they call that K factor when you can only have so many of a certain organism before they run out of resources, and it's uppercase K.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, but
God, what did they use uppercase?
What's it called? The
resource limits to a population.
Something like maximum capacity.
Carrying capacity.
Yeah, carrying capacity.
Right. Okay. And why didn't I suppose they didn't use a C because C was used for something else? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
Carrying capacity.
Speed of light.
Yeah, but it's usually
I put a link to an evolution soup video I saw just the other day dealing with the evolution of the horse. They even mentioned Cope's rule and what was done to kind of overturn that idea in the horses.
Oh, thanks, Scott.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Yeah, it's very fascinating.
Yep.
So what's up?
Oh, we're just talking a little science, a little evolution.
Talking about natural selection.
The more important question, Midnight, is this: what's down?
What's down? Yeah.
Me.
Yep.
So how you been, Andrew?
I've been okay. I've been busy.
Busy doing what?
Doing school.
Ooh, you echoed.
School doesn't exist. It's an invention. It's an invention of I don't know.
The right wing.
Well, yeah, let's go with that. I'm tired. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the right wing, basically, they created school. No, actually, the left wing, the lefties created school so that people wouldn't vote for Trump.
Where people
get off the Trump. Get off the Trump train.
That's their sole purpose is to encourage people not to vote for Trump. Back in the 1700s, they knew that.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Yep. Education. Not a good
thing. And then, however, it was the Drumps because they changed their name at some point.
Anyway.
So, but the thing is that if you want to look at like populations, okay, there has to be 3 things. There has to be mutation. There has to be multiplicity in a population. So you have to have a population. So you have to have more than one individual, right? And then you have to have selection of some sort. And selection simply means, I missed something. Okay, you have to have duplication. So the kind of organism that it is, like, okay, if we had rocks, we would have a lot of rocks. They would vary. The rocks would vary. the rocks would copy themselves with variation, with minor variation, not extreme.
Right, heritability.
Yeah, and they would basically copy themselves, and that would be your heritability. And then there would be some selection pressure on the rocks, and you would end up with evolving rocks. Right. So you would end up with populations of a whole bunch of, little agates that looked a certain way that had red eyes. And then other ones, a couple of them had blue eyes, that sort of thing. But I'm not talking about seeing eyes. I'm talking about those little circles you see on stones sometimes.
Albinism. I don't know.
There you go.
I like to think of it as natural selection being the thing that fits organisms to their environment, but not necessarily the ultimate driver of evolutionary change per se.
Oh, that was the other thing I heard the other day. Fitness, the idea of fitness.
Right.
It means fitting to your environment. That's the etymology of it. That's where it came from. But we think of fitness now in terms of how strong you are and how capable you are or whatever.
Yeah, the Gold's Gym model of fitness.
Right, but it used to mean fit. Like I think Darwin meant fitting to an environment.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
Fit into it. Right, which is a different way of looking at it when you think about it. It just has to fit.
Yeah,
and it also
environment. Yeah,
it has to fit with other things. Like it has to fit together with other. Yeah, another big. I think. Another thing to consider that's slightly outside the whole natural selection thing is that organisms create their own environment. So there's this feedback that, the organism is also its own, it is its own environment in a lot of ways. And you see that particularly in embryology.
Right. Well, you can also see it in like gut biomes, right?
Well, I mean, another interesting thing that the organism is maybe its own environment, but but also there are also like sub environments within the organism.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
All kinds of. Yeah, and so who was it? Was it Phil Cordova who was saying, "Oh, there was the modern synthesis. There was like Darwinian evolution. Then we came up with the modern synthesis, and now the extended synthesis. And at every stage, they said, "Oh, we were wrong about all the stuff that came before." That has never happened in evolution.
Yeah, not really.
No. They didn't say, "Oh, that modern synthesis, that was all wrong." No, they adopted it and extended it, to things like punctuated equilibrium and or horizontal gene transfer, all kinds of things.
Well, to put in a more analogous context, basically, we were about it. Oh, am I roboting? Huh?
Okay. No.
Yeah. What?
Not for me?
Huh. I thought I was. Anyways,
everybody's roboting.
Let Andrew talk, please.
Oh.
No, you forgot what he was going to say.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Basically, about as wrong as great. Now I forgot how I'm going to phrase it. Darn it. Oh well. It was something about Newton and Einstein, and I was going to do something about that, but I forgot how I was going to phrase it.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, I failed.
Yeah, you failed. So back in the beginning, what am I looking at? Oh my God! Did I actually put out the link for this thing and I pinned it? Oh my God! I'm surprised people aren't climbing in. I thought I just did this by invite only, but no. Last night I put out the link. So Dessel Drace put a bunch of links in here earlier, and I can't find them now. Oh, because I'm probably zooming right. Oh, there they are. Okay.
Dessel, why don't you come in and spruce up the conversation?
Yeah, those links are probably wrong.
Yeah, he's definitely wrong.
Dessel's doing it, so
yeah. So he had a YouTube video that was frightening. It was about demons.
Demons
and Satan, I think. Yeah. Yep. Un-British on Twitter. Let's see. Okay. So the evolution of okay, put up a thing on Royal Society has the evolution of eyes and visually guided behavior. There's a why can't I? Well, that's weird. Okay, browser Tourette's. What is this? Accept all cookies. They keep dimming. Like some sites will dim the site until you accept all cookies.
It's their way of forcing you to give them data.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I think so.
Your robot, or you're echoing again.
I am?
Yeah, for me at least.
Really? But
is he echoing?
Actually, you're the only one robot. No,
you're fine.
I can't tell. This is confusing.
I'm so confused.
I don't know. Well, you have that echo problem a lot. For some reason, your StreamYard doesn't do echo cancellation. So I don't know, but I don't hear any echo anywhere.
How about now? Nope, still there.
Really?
Maybe let me refresh.
Okay. Oh, echo again. What in the hell is going on? This has got to be a StreamYard problem because we didn't have it yesterday, did we?
I don't remember. That's too long ago.
Yeah. I don't know. That is too long ago.
There's a suggestion that God might be getting even with us.
Jesus strikes again. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose I could pop out of the studio for a minute and try to listen and see what we sound like if you guys talk.
Yeah.
But then it could be
because Dessel Drace and Stupid Pardon Turkey Energy agree on something. And apparently that causes problems in the cosmos.
Yeah, it forms a feedback loop. Horrible feedback loop. The evolution of vision.
Wait,
how you doing now? So where did Midnight go?
I don't know. Oh, sounds better now.
He does that. He just drops out, and then that's it. Maybe he didn't feel like the conversation was as entertaining as he would want.
I do that.
BrainBug is in the side chat, by the way. Hello, BrainBug.
Hey, BrainBug.
It's always great when BrainBug stops by. He's very welcome to click on that link and join us.
Yep.
And let's see what BrainBug has on his buzzy little mind.
Yeah, we just got to find out if we're still echoing.
It's not echoing for me anymore.
I don't hear any echoing.
It's like it's going on and off or something.
Yeah, I hear speed.
That's almost impossible for it to be coming through my microphone because, okay, I'm going to shut up. You guys talk.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Boy, no pressure there.
Andrew?
So, how's your dog, Andrew?
Which one?
Both of them, obviously. Duh. Don't you love them equally?
Of course.
Okay.
Well, they're both still cute. They're both still loving and annoying sometimes.
That's the way puppies are.
Yeah. Well, I actually heard like they're gonna be, or both of them at least are gonna be at least 3 years old. Next fall, I believe.
Hey, what was your reaction to change the subject again? Even though I'd love to keep on talking about dogs. Apparently, all these sociopathic dog haters in the side chat don't want to hear about our dogs. So how's the what are your thoughts? What's your reaction to the Sunflower versus Dan debate? Some of our people.
Well, I guess overall thoughts, it was very cordial, very polite. We were talking earlier about like how it seemed less of Sunflower versus Dr. Dan and more of Dr. Dan teaching Sunflower about biological aspects in terms of viruses and stuff like that.
Yeah, like getting free education out of a highly trained professional.
Right.
Yeah, I want to apologize to Sunflower because in the shows coming up, before the debate, I had made some comments about him, and I think I had him confused with somebody else, or I listened to him on Praise's channel when he was having a bad night. But no, he was really, not only was he cordial, but he seemed very open-minded and more open-minded than anybody else I've listened to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So are you making a formal apology, Speed?
I make a formal apology to this guy. I had you all wrong, Sunflower. I am so sorry. I apologize.
Well, I think this is a great step forward for you, Speed, as well as for Sunflower. So a beautiful thing's happening here, folks. And I'm going to go get a tissue because
before you go, Scott, I want you to note that this is a historical moment because I was wrong, and this was the first time that's ever happened.
I'm sure it has been. In fact, I think I'm starting to feel the earth shake under my feet.
Yeah.
As the world and the cosmos adjusts to this event.
I know it's amazing, but I mean it can happen even to me. So just keep that in mind, kids. So.
Oh, by the way, Orge apparently did a debate about Bigfoot not too long ago. He did he put up a video, and I don't know. I saw a video today that made me start thinking that maybe Bigfoot is real.
What?
But so I don't know. What?
Why are we having these kind? My faith in humanity is beginning to falter.
Yep.
It's like debating: is the Earth flat? Is Bigfoot's existence proven? Is evolution wrong? Like, I mean, why?
Okay, Scott, you and I watched the same series. Wasn't there some reference in a series to this guy that said, "Oh no, Bigfoot is real"? In I don't know which one it was, but or else somebody said it somewhere. But yeah, no, Bigfoot is like real, man.
I don't know. I'm sure there is, and it sounds familiar, but I can't think of the series.
Yep.
Now, what's this about Willow Creek? It's a found footage horror movie.
Oh, was that the Michigan Monster? That one? That one was kind of a stunning. I mean, a bunch of people cited this Michigan Monster.
Sounds thrilling.
Yep, it is.
I'm going to. I've got IMDb open right now.
You do?
I always have IMDb open. I have the IMDb app just because they're the best go-to for movies and stuff. Although I liked the format of IMDb back in the 90s for some reason.
Let's see. Okay, so this is one of the papers that Dessel put up, The Evolution of Eyes. I put all three papers in the description. I don't know what we got here. The morphology and molecular mechanisms of animal photoreceptor cells and eyes reveal a complex pattern of duplications and co-option of genetic modules, leading to a number of different light-sensitive systems that share many components, in which clear-cut homologies are rare. So anyway,
sorry, just like there was, or that was something else I was mentioning in the side chat of Dr. Dan's debate the other day. Is like it's really astonishing. Like it, not always, but like the biology of organisms, of their morphology and their molecular or just molecules in general is really modular, right? Like you can tweak one thing over here and it doesn't significantly alter the function overall or the organ structure overall, right?
Yeah. I'm having browser Tourette's. Hang on a second. Okay, here's the second paper that he put up. And see, that's Gehring. And then this would be the third paper. So let me see here. Phototransduction and evolution of photoreceptors. So 3 papers that we, haven't looked at. Grouped into 2 classes, photoreceptive, membrane. I would like to be able to see like an octopus. Wouldn't that be cool?
Can't you just go to the aquarium?
No, not see like I want to see like an octopus or see like an elephant. No, I want to see like an octopus. I want to be able to. Yeah.
That would be weird.
Yeah, I'm not being Valley Girl there and say, oh, I want to see like like a rainbow. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying I want to be able to see like an octopus because their vision is apparently better sorted than ours. You don't have to look through a bunch of nerves and blood vessels and have blind spots and things like that. It's more well designed. So,
Dussel, come in here. We're talking about eyes for you.
My son is here, Germania. Oh, Germania is doing family stuff. We need to talk. You and I need to talk. I'm going to try again to talk some sense into you, but I probably fail like I did last time.
Tell your family that you're about to get a good talking to, and they'll probably let you join. Yeah. Because they all probably know you need a good talking.
They know it.
Well,
yeah.
His family, he just needs a good talking to.
In fact, his family reached out to me and asked me to have a chat with that boy.
They want to talk some sense in your head.
Yep.
Okay, don't go too far with its speed.
Yeah. Yep. There we go. I adjusted that. Anyway, 3 good papers are in the description. I'm going to have to look at those.
We have first case of Omicron variant in Georgia confirmed.
Minnesota was number 2 in the nation to get Omicron. Yay.
See, apparently we also have Omicron in Colorado.
Go Vikings.
Is this a new kind of color or something?
No, have you been living in a box?
It's the Omicron variant of the COVID.
I have been living in a box. It's called my house.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, does your box have like news?
Nah, I don't really watch the news.
Oh, okay. Omicron is like supposedly, at first they said it was like 100 times more contagious. We are so fucked.
Oh.
We are so fucked.
Yeah, I haven't left the house in forever.
Is this like a bacteria evolving resistance type of thing?
Well, apparently it's mutated on its on those little spikes that come up.
Receptor proteins?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go back and reread some of the information on it, but I think it's something like it's just got more little spiky areas to get contagious with.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I know that's a totally non-scientific, non-medical description of the whole phenomenon, but oh well.
It's still terrifying nonetheless, Scott.
Very terrifying. Well, it's, nobody wants to get sick, and nobody wants to get a sickness that's going to damage your organs, not only short term, but long term. I mean, raise your hand if you would just enjoy getting such a disease.
Yeah.
Well, does that really matter that I'm not showing my screen?
Oh, yeah, you can catch it on TikTok and Instagram.
What?
It's that contagious. You can catch it on TikTok.
Can you catch it on YouTube?
The new variant, no, it hasn't mutated. YouTube is too old for it.
Thank goodness. Oh,
yeah,
that explains that.
Yeah, it's a real modern kind of thing. It's for young kids only. So, yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Turkey energy.
Rose genomes are very compacted, so even neutral mutations have effect.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense, though.
Yes.
It's like if you have less papers to write on, or just using a crude analogy here, but if you have like 5 papers to write on, you're more like, or well, if you make a typo, it's going to have statistically more of an effect than if you have 100 papers and you just change a letter.
Yep.
Or something like that. Oh, hey, Dessel.
Howdy.
Dessel came in here to help us out.
Check. I don't know whether or not I've been gone for a second. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, there's a little bit of an airplane noise going on in the background, but
Heard. I'll turn down the fan in a second. But I've been gone for a second, but I said to check out this video in the chat, and I'm going to post it in the private chat. This is a professor's coverage of the Phototransduction Cascade, and this guy's a fucking boss. Like, this video is just so
nerd.
Yeah.
He's a nerd?
Hi, Ninja Nerd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this guy is great.
This may be a really dumb question, but what is a photoreception cascade?
So it's how the light is translated into electrochemical signaling to be transferred to the brain for processing.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Now it's fucking awesome, and they use the same kinds of like gradients across a membrane as you get in like a certain metabolic pathways, where like they have these pathways where like calcium or sodium can get in there and it turns on or off the signal basically.
Right, so like any other enzymatic pathway, right? Kind of.
Yeah, and it's just like those kinds of mechanisms like that just fascinate the hell out of me. They're just so fucking awesome.
Yeah. Go for it.
This guy, let's see. I want to do his intro. His intros are great. Ninja Nerd.
It'll play.
Hi, Ninja Nerds. In this video, we're going to talk about specifically the Phototransduction Cascade. We're going to dig into the layers of the retina a little bit more, talk about those layers, and then we're going to talk about how we can turn light rays into electrical signals that basically produce vision. All right, so let's go ahead and start here. So first thing that we're going to talk about is the different layers of the retina. So what am I doing here? If you see here, you guys are probably like, wait, where the heck did this come from? Don't worry. All we did is if you guys watched the video on the structure of the eye, all we did is we're taking a little section right here. We're taking a little section right here from the retina and zooming in on it. Okay, so now we're actually zooming in on all the different components of the retina. All right, so let's go ahead and
stop this before we get copyright.
The first thing's
I don't think you get a copyright on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is pretty useful. Anyway, this guy, we can't watch the whole thing because you have to take notes when you listen to his stuff. I mean, he goes through it, and he goes through it so well. I mean,
and you said this is a professor, Dessel?
I think he's a doctor. It's called Ninja Nerd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
I'll have to check out his videos.
Yeah, I'll link it in the description. Yeah, definitely subscribe to him. He has like on every facet of biochemistry and medicine and molecular biology. He has just the most detailed lectures ever. And this is, yeah, he really gets into it.
Does he have any on like mutations or stuff like that?
I'm not sure if he gets into evolution that much. He mostly gets into medicine and molecular biology, all the biochemical pathways and GPCRs and cell membranes. He's got wonderful videos on that. Well, let's go look at his site. Give you some idea what he's got.
Okay.
Videos. Let's see here. And of course, we're cutting a few of them off, but how can I do that? Let me see here. I can't. Apparently, I can't.
Okay, medicinal stuff.
Yeah, it's primarily medicine. So,
okay,
and it's pretty good. So he's got he's medicinal stuff is part of it. Okay, but on his, oh my God, cat! Why did you do that to me, cat? I hate cats. I just
do.
Yeah, I just hate him. Okay, so he's got these playlists, right? And he's got human physiology. So he gets into metabolism, neurology. He has a wonderful section on the brain, circulatory system.
Ooh, microbiology.
He gets in biochemistry, general chemistry, organic chemistry. And this guy is great. I'm surprised you don't know about him.
Yeah.
Bone anatomy, muscle anatomy. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. He's got a lot of content.
I just discovered him today myself.
Really?
Talk about the actual
Yeah. I've been watching him for a while, so he's pretty good. Head half.
Yeah, he's
half
awesome.
and half. Yeah. Anyway, definitely worth checking out.
Another one that's related to this that I read recently was this paper on primary versus promiscuous protein functions. Where basically it's not always the case that the evolution of a protein has to descend down a fitness landscape because they're capable of doing multiple things. So selection for multiple functions can co-occur, and so I think some of that's being suggested for the eye. Looking at things like I was looking at photolyase for a while, reconstructing LUCA, the last universal common ancestor. A lot of people are saying that LUCA had this enzyme for DNA photo repair called photolyase, and you see how that thing works. And I think it's possible that you can extract that from respiratory functions at the origin of life. And then they're saying in some of these papers that from UV DNA repair, this is part of the system that's being co-opted into the eventual emergence of vision.
Yeah, proteins being promiscuous and the way protein domains and motifs work. I mean, it's evolution is just so obvious at that level and how easy it is to happen. And I mean, some of these motifs are really not that huge. They're just like 20 long or 10 long, 10 amino acids long, and it's just obvious to me at that level.
I think you could say like the messiness of biology is what helps it evolve so well.
And the promiscuity. I mean, how many different ways things can fit together. It's almost like a super Lego set,
Right.
It just pops up, which is kind of cool. So I'm trying to find something else that I lost. Why do I keep losing things? I don't know. Anyway.
So
I see Stupid Whore Energy in the chat. She doesn't understand what I mean when I say descend down a fitness landscape. So basically what I mean there is that instead of traveling through paths that are neutral or slightly deleterious to get to your next evolutionary function, instead they're promiscuous. So they can select for multiple functions at one time and never have to quote unquote descend down the landscape. Maybe you don't like that language, but that's what I mean by that.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, what am I trying to find? And I'm not going to find it. Oh, I found it maybe. Anyway, you guys talk.
Okay. So, Dussel, you mentioned the LUCA. Oh. So you mentioned the last universal common ancestor, and I'm guessing you're aware of the kind of difficulties with figuring that out at the phylogenetic level, right?
Yeah.
Like the root of the tree of life.
Yep.
Do you think, or I guess we're not experts, either of us, but do you think, in your opinion, that we're ever gonna decipher that part of the tree?
So I think that's open. I think that you could narrow that down, But I think that another important step for origin of life studies is pinning down what the Hadean environment looked like. And that's really changed a lot over the course of the last 20 years to the level that the last time I was on a stream, I was really bitching about it, because right now they're debating and it's kind of all over the place. And so once they narrow down what the environment looks like, I think that'll also be helpful in like filtering out different hypotheses that don't really quite make sense.
Well, I mean, like, also I was talking about like lateral gene transfer between different prokaryotic species. Are you familiar with that as well? Or?
Yeah, so there's like several different ways in which origin of life researchers try to get around that. One of them is used by Smith and Morowitz. I think it's Morowitz or Horowitz, but pretty sure it's Morowitz.
Morowitz.
So they use a phylometabolomics approach, where they are both using phylogenetics and reconstructions of metabolic pathways to try to like narrow it down and get around the problem of lateral gene transfer. And then Bill Martin has written about the issue, and he has like another method, which I've read. I can't remember how he does it off the top of his head, but different researchers are trying to come up with different ways to try to circumvent the problem of lateral gene transfer.
Makes sense.
Yeah, protein domains are promiscuous and they go down on fitness landscapes.
Hey, BrainBug.
Hello.
And nobody commented on that.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, man.
Sorry about it.
Great comment. It's a great comment.
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Well, I was just responding to stupid pardon turkey energy. I just wanted to make it worse. Hi, Bug.
Good job.
Hi.
I liked your video the other day, Bug.
The stream I did?
Yep.
Yeah, that was fun. The missing link.
Yeah.
Did you get to the end where I talked about that Them and Us book that came out a couple of years back? Where
I think the one I just saw was the one with the ghost, I think. And I saw two different videos. Maybe I'm confusing two, but go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, well, a couple of years back, there was this forensic guy that was proposing that Neanderthals were these furry ape-like predators that preyed on humans and had slitted pupils, and it was a really weird theory.
I didn't see that one. That's a different one.
Yeah.
Was that the latest one you did?
That was what I did on my live stream this Saturday. Yeah. Yesterday morning.
That sounds really bad.
It's laughable how bad their hypothesis is. Is it called the predatory Neanderthal hypothesis?
That wouldn't even make sense with what we know about relationships and other hominins.
Right, and the fact that they placed a lot of weight on that they cannibalized other humans and that they raped us, and that's why there's Neanderthal DNA in the human genome.
Well, like I mean, Komodo dragons cannibalize each other sometimes, and so do a lot of animals. Does that mean Neanderthals are like Komodo dragons?
Okay,
well, I know there's a history of like scratches and things like that on Neanderthal bones, but that's them eating them, right?
There's records of us eating them.
Oh, there are
of humans, of human predation on Neanderthals, but there's not really any evidence in the other direction.
Wow.
And there's evidence of human predation on other humans, because we were still doing that up until there may still be some cultures where that's acceptable.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
Eating your enemies or even eating your family members is a funerary rite. You know?
Right. To basically so that they'll always be with you.
Right.
Anyway,
I got a thing from this Oh, it's a cemetery thing. They send me little helpful, I don't know what the hell it is, but it was about Christmas, and they were talking about how God gave us memories so that we could cherish our lost loved ones or something like that. And me and my son started running with it, and we were thinking about going to funerals and saying, "Hey, don't worry, you're gonna see your loved one again." Well, maybe 25% chance, but there's a 75% chance that one of you or both of you are going to hell. So you may, and the scripture isn't very clear about that, but you may get to watch each other be tortured in the lake of fire. But we don't know for sure. But there's a 25% chance that you're both going to end up in heaven. So, yeah, have hopeful.
Dude, the preacher who spoke at my father's funeral stood up there and said that my dad was probably in hell. It's like, dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
was he
We
right?
need to. Oh, go ahead.
Was he right about that?
well, my dad was an atheist, so I mean, I suppose.
Okay. Oh my God, they actually did that.
Yeah.
I
my sister's like really, really Christian, so she had her church's pastor or whatever come and speak at his funeral.
Right.
And, yeah. So that's what he had to say about it. It's kind of gross.
That's
good. Or good. He said at his funeral. I thought he said it to his face or something.
No, at his funeral, speaking over like while he was laying dead cold behind him, said that.
Oh my God,
that sucks.
Yeah, I definitely need to plan my funeral so that, like, I do not want a preacher doing anything at my funeral. And maybe one day, like on a dedicated stream, we ought to get together and plan my funeral, so that I'll be able to pass that on to my kid.
I already took care.
Can speak at my funeral, okay?
Yeah, so I already took care of that.
What'd you say, BrainBug?
I said Dessel Drace can speak at my funeral.
Okay. Oh.
All of my friends have been instructed to, anybody that comes up with a religious bullshit, they've been instructed to haul them, bodily throw them out.
Yeah, that's a good instruction. Yeah, we need a security team at my funeral to throw people out who mention God or Jesus or God bless you or whatever.
Yeah, at my mom's funeral, this preacher got up. They got a preacher who knew nothing about her, and he described her as this gentle, soft-spoken woman. And my mom swore like a sailor. She was like this blazing, redheaded Irish woman who came into a room and immediately commanded the entire room. I mean, she was so loud and so present. And he had her so wrong that we wanted to we all wanted to rip this guy's face off by the time he was done. But and then he went off on the God thing, and it was like, oh my God.
Did he know your mother like in real time at all?
No, he'd never met her.
He probably used the
standard
or the previous, this one went pretty good. Last funeral I did, so he just used it with all the praises and stuff.
But I mean, he had
check your email speed.
He had her so wrong; it was just unbelievable. He wants me to check my email now.
AJ does.
What is wrong with these people? I don't have anything on my email.
You guys,
I don't know what the hell he's done.
Do you guys think it would be cool to have your corpse kind of laid down beside a growing tree?
Yes, that's what I want. I want to be buried in a biodegradable coffin, so that let the mycelia take me. Let the
right, yeah, exactly.
Of the earth.
Or one option is to donate your body to a what do they call it? A cadaver farm or whatever, where they study forensics.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
Well, it's almost the same as being laid next to a tree and having mycelium or whatever take over you.
Well, because the thing is, do you want to be have your dead body further scientific knowledge or further just the living biosphere? So I don't know.
That's a good.
Aren't you accomplishing both? in that situation?
What does happen to the remains they don't use, though, when you donate your body to scientific research? That's the question.
They burn it usually. I think they burn it.
I know that cremation is a terrible use of energy.
Right.
A waste of energy.
So on Paulogia's channel, speaking of that green burial, some states have it, but Minnesota doesn't. But you get to be buried like under a tree, about 3 feet down, so that you end up in the roots. And I want to be buried under a weeping willow because I want to be a weeping willow. But,
yeah, if I get buried, that's the way I think I want to go out like Neil deGrasse Tyson often says.
Yeah. So this is on Paulogia's sites. It's Skeptic Channels, new in 2021. And he listed a whole bunch of channels. And
very cool.
Yeah. Yep. And there it is, the weather report. Answers in Atheism. We made it.
Cool.
Yeah, that was nice. Ian pointed that out to me, and then AJ just sent me an email on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he picked the one where I was stumbling through, the one I was most depressed about, where I thought I did a really bad job of explaining intention with an S. You know, remember that, Scott? I was depressed about it.
Yeah.
I wasn't on. But that's the one he chose to link to. So, interesting. So
we shall see.
We shall see. And then we have live from Hive. So is this a monster you're talking about?
That's how they depict Neanderthal in that book.
Oh my goodness!
Look at those
I just thought that was Clint Eastwood on the Planet of the Apes. So
yeah,
they made it scarred up the face and gave it leathery skin and an ugly sneer,
snarl.
Looking at freaking all hominids that exist right now are very expressive. Yet this thing is always looks like someone just farted in its face.
What's going on with his ears? Why are his ears so far back?
I don't know. And
it's because it's a terrible reconstruction.
Why is there like a tooth or a fang coming off the side of his mouth? What is that?
I just thought he had Bell's palsy or something.
The eyes are the worst, though. There's no indication that Neanderthals had eyes as big as owl eyes. It's ridiculous.
And they look like snake eyes, kind of, don't they?
Yeah, they got slitted pupils. No.
That's supposed to be Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Neanderthal. They've done reconstruction.
Like this morning.
Yeah, there you go. That's what they base their nonsense on.
Yep. Anyway, this is linked in the description. So,
well, like we found art and different, very human-like, or Homo sapien-like artifacts with them, so that would kind of narrow down that hypothesis even more.
Right.
You want to listen to this?
You don't have to listen to it. That's all right.
Well, the others might.
Yeah.
Oh, this is your video, BrainBug.
Yeah, that's me in the corner.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't recognize you.
Yeah, it's linked in the description, so you can listen to it.
I needed to put the link to the book site, even though I don't agree with the book. I should put that in there so people can go see it for themselves. I always forget to put the links for the books that I cite. It's easy to remember paper because I could just literally copy the paper and link it. But then when it comes to citing books, I have to go either find the author's site or something, you know.
Yep. So
speed. Oh,
I am.
I'm getting a little feedback. Oh, okay. If you want to take that down, I'm going to ask a challenge question of BrainBug since he's here.
Okay. Go ahead.
So humble BrainBug. Oh, it's echoing again.
I'm echoing.
Okay. Yeah. That's so weird. Anyways, so BrainBug, in your humble opinion, what do you think is the best/worst, however you want to interpret that, creationist argument against evolution?
Instead of irreducible complexity.
Okay.
It's ridiculous to claim that things don't have secondary functions, or that secondary functions can't become primary functions. It's just the whole concept of it is silly. Does that not work for your direction that you're going? We can pick a different one. Against evolution.
Well, I guess if that's your worst one, what do you think would be your best, quote unquote? I guess the least worst.
Creationist argument?
Yeah.
Oh, a good one. Let me see.
I know it's really hard.
Yeah. I like that they try really hard with genetic entropy. It doesn't hold up, but it's at least they're trying to be scientific about it, at least present something scientific.
Right.
I guess that have to be not irreducible complexity, but genetic entropy. Irreducible complexity is the worst.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, kinds are kind of up there.
Yeah. Oh, baraminology. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Because baraminology, they complain about, like, when they talk about our cladograms and stuff. They're like, oh, you just connect lines on a paper, but with baraminology, you're drawing, you're breaking lines on the paper for no reason. You're just deciding that, hey, foxes are separate kind than other dogs, but not complaining and not explaining why they would still be canids, not explaining why they'd still be carnivorans. It's nested. They're all nested groups within groups.
Another funny thing, and I mentioned this on our the other day when we or maybe it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah. Basically, well, they like to mention phylogenetic incongruencies, for example, and how they're problematic for common ancestry. But I feel like you could just as easily turn that around, since they believe in like created families or orders, however big or small you want to make it. But like there are minor incongruencies at that level too. So you could just as easily say, well, that means that all living species must be created separately because these incongruencies mean they can't be related, right?
Yeah, you know what I think the best argument against that is probably Evo Devo. Because, I mean, you go through Evo Devo, you look at the development of the embryo, and the younger the embryo is, the more in common it has with further back in the animal kingdom, further down on the tree of life. So you can see where those incongruencies diverged if you look at it through an Evo Devo lens,
Right, yeah. If you generally if you include more data, it typically becomes less noisy, I guess I should say.
Oh yeah. But even, I mean, how long has it been since we diverged from like arthropods, for instance? Like 520 million years or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And we still have similar genes that have the same origin that generate limb development, for instance. Why is that?
Right.
Why can you see that? And you can see where it diverges and where they go off to do this segmented body plan, whereas we go and off down this track where our skeleton develops on the inside. All that, those Hox genes and everything, that all changes before that development, before we even split from being vertebrates and invertebrates, before the spine is even considered.
The signal is still far back, or even there that far back. But like, if you're gonna point out to minor thing, I guess he's refreshing. Minor things like that, like, well, because the thing that always gets me, and maybe this is just my frustration with it, but like, it's almost never talked about how it's really statistical in nature. It's large data sets. You have to go through lots of different tree topologies, for example, and just like the fact alone that we've gotten as far as we have of like 50, 100 million different trees, depending on the number of taxa you're looking at, is just, isn't that something, right?
The ecology of natural selection, it's really, there's so many radicals in the data sets alone, so many radicals that you got to consider that are going to impact the direction that this group goes, that's on this side of the river, right, compared to where that group goes on that side of the river. And speciation, it's inevitable because you're isolating populations, right? So I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, like you mentioned speciation there. I don't suppose you know anything about what. Well, I know they're all significant, but is there like a preferred, I guess, for lack of a better word, mode of speciation that you've looked at?
Mode of speciation.
Like allopatry, sympatry, or.
I really haven't looked into it too much. I'd have to.
That's okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Ecology is more the direction that I go more than genetics. I know a little bit about it just because it's kind of it's related tertiarily, but right. all my research and stuff is usually in the direction of ecology and how populations change more so than what's changing in their genes. So different ecological driving forces is more what I would tend to be looking at.
Can I give a couple of challenge questions to BrainBug?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pick up the thing there.
Oh, no problem. I wanted to ask BrainBug, do you know anything about the evolution of spider venom and webs? And also, did you get any chance to trudge through that really hard to read critique of the RNA world that I sent you by Charles Carter?
No, I hadn't got to that yet. I'm sorry. I keep meaning to, but it's still on. I still got it saved.
All right. Yeah. He's not an easy author to read, but.
And I'm not married to RNA first world. It doesn't matter if metabolism, whatever. Either way. It was just when I was in school and stuff, that was the leading theory. That's what they really taught, the hypothesis that they really pushed when I was in school. So
yeah. In my from what I've been gathering over the course of the last maybe 15 years, that's steadily been changing. There's a bunch of scholars. There's George Fox, Lauren Williams, Charles Carter, Chatterjee and Yadoff, even our own Demeter Kunev, who comes here on Speed Stream sometimes, and a bunch of others who are arguing for an RNA peptide world. And there's a lot of good research coming out of that.
Yeah, it was the Carter paper was about metabolism, though, right? The one that you.
So that's critiquing an RNA world, and one of the arguments that it makes several different ones, but it shows a lot of research having to do with these enzymes that Carter talks about that are like simpler versions of what's extant, and they're able to do like 60% of the job. And then he also gives this critique about making the transition from an RNA first world to metabolism, and how it's not feasible in terms of like the evolutionary dynamics and selection, but also that there's no real evidence for the takeover and other stuff.
Yeah. Again, I hadn't got a chance to read it, but yeah, I'll look at it. The language was really really advanced for me. I'm I'm kind of behind on my research, I guess.
So Speed, did you rage quit your own stream?
I'm having echo issues, and I don't know what they are.
Are you still echoing?
Actually, it seems like you're echoing through other people.
Yeah, and
which is weird.
I have no idea what's going on, and it seems to be a StreamYard setting because everything else is gone and rebooted, and I have no idea why. So, not sure. So,
Hey, Randolph.
Hey, Randolph.
You doing all right, Randolph?
Can you hear us?
Awkward silence.
I can hear you. You were all silent for a moment there on me.
Oh.
Goodness gracious. Well, Grr is in the side chat speed, but he's afraid to come in and get his talking to.
Oh, did he do something wrong?
I don't think
he did.
he usually does. Yes, he usually does.
Yeah.
But gosh darn it, I like him a lot.
I like him too.
No idea what's going on. Am I still echoing through everybody else?
Not to me.
Not for me.
Okay. So anyway, this sounds a little weird in my headphones for some reason. So Gur, you need to come in before we go on live so that I just want to have a friendly conversation with you. That's it. I started calling him Gur, I am that I am. To give you some.
Just click on that, Gur. Just click on it. Click on that.
Who could that possibly get?
You were asking about the spider web, the evolution of spider web.
Yep.
I just wanted to say real quick about that originally its origins find their place back when it was just to wrap the eggs in, and then it kind of branched out from there. So there is a clade of spiders that are I guess they're not true spiders. What is it? Urinidae that. What was in that video that Steve just shared? We had this chimera, what is it? Chimera arachne. It's really like a cross between a whip scorpion and a true spider, but it has spinnerets to make web. But it was probably using them just to wrap its egg sacs in. But as they become more specialized to different ecological niches, the uses of the web kind of expanded from there.
So, just a dumb question here, BrainBug. Besides spiders, do we have other insects that weave webs?
Well, spiders aren't insects, but
okay, all right, okay, yeah, thank you. I know that annoyed you to death, and I wasn't doing that. I was just ignorant. I wasn't doing that to annoy you.
You're okay. I was just messing with you. That weave webs. I know spider mites, which are mites that attack your houseplants. They have web fibers that they spin. As far as insects go, the closest thing I can think of to weaving a web is how they like a praying mantis generates an Utica.
I wanted to. The odds of anybody knowing the answer to this question is pretty slim, but I remember reading in this old sociology essay, there was this claim that the spider, even after it runs out of silk, will still continue to go through like the several thousands of movements that it needs in order to create its web in a kind of like computerized fashion where it doesn't really recognize that it's lost the silk and it just completes all the movements in a kind of automated process.
Like an
Is that true?
Yeah.
Does anybody know?
I don't know.
So does it really work that way?
People will sometimes go through the motions for things without the tools or items in their hands. I wonder if maybe the spiders are just practicing for when they have more web later. I'm guessing here.
So, how I have the mic on my microphone, I have the praying mantis sometimes. I can like move my fingers and it'll paw at while I'm sitting there talking. It does that because it has those instinctive responses that it has no control of. It when it sees branches shaking like that, it wants to grab a hold of them. So it's like it's moving through tree branches and they're shaking and it's trying to pin them down so it can climb on them. It's not. Some people think it's like a combat response, but it's really not. It's just a uncontrollable. They can't resist trying to reach out and grab it, kind of like throwing a ball to a dog. They have this automatic response to it that they can't push back against. It's just that natural instinct. I think that it'd probably be something like that, but thousands of steps. I guess the brain or the spider's brain, if you call it a brain, it's just a series of like ganglia just sending out automated messages. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if that were true. That it just goes through those steps.
The praying mantis on your microphone always looks really cool when it's doing stuff like that, by the way. Yeah. As far as dogs, if you make the motion to throw a ball and there's no ball, they'll still run after it. First. And I saw somebody made some kind of parody news article written by dogs saying reasons why you should not fake throw a ball. And there's a picture of the dog and they're looking very stern.
Cool.
Yeah. Do you have a dog, Randolph?
When I was younger, we had 2 dogs and 5 cats at the most. But right now, I don't have any pets. Oh, Lucky 7 Wolfen saying atheism is normal. It's so normal here, I could run down the street naked holding a big sign that says, I am an atheist. And all anyone is going to say is, look at that guy with the enormous... okay. That is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I should warn you about the end of it, but I thought maybe you pre-read it. So.
Yeah, I thought you pre-read it.
I skipped the last word there.
I didn't want to fight against your agency.
It's like when I say Twitter is toxic, Instagram is incredulous, and Facebook is, you can finish the rest.
Why is he running around naked with a chicken, though? He doesn't explain that.
That's to me not something I think is really normal, but maybe in some circles it is. But I guess I'm in different circles.
I think this is the reason why I like Romania. He loves dogs, and I love dogs. Dogs are great. I don't care.
Lost Dessel.
Dogs and cats can live together quite well, as I know, because I've had both.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was a kid, and it's wonderful. When you're sick, the cats will lie all over your blanket and purr away, and it seems to be almost therapeutic when they do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, normally they just do their own thing. But if you're sick, they come and take care of you, and dogs will care for you in a different ways.
The only bad thing about, well, for me at least, having a 2 dogs and a cat, or in this case, just one particular dog and one particular cat, he likes to, I guess, play with her as if she were a dog. So, of course, that can get, well, it hasn't gotten too rough, but we kind of have to break it up sometimes, so.
Is your cat also an outdoor cat, or is it all indoors only?
Well, she sleeps indoors, but we it's kind of complicated, but yeah, she likes to go outdoors.
Well, that's fine.
Backyard, at least.
She can handle the rough play with the dog most likely then.
Yeah, so we had this. We had a cat. A big silver cat. It was a big silver fluffy cat named Grunt, and he was an asshole. And he grew up basically both puppies grew up with this cat, right? So they were little tiny puppies when Grunt was really bigger than they were, and he kicked the living shit out of them. Ooh. Anyway, so one of the puppies was a half German Shepherd, half wolf, and he would he was a raccoon killer, And then the other one was a Saint Bernard. And Grunt would sit in the doorway where their food was, and they were afraid to cross him to go get their food. So they would sit there and cry, and Grunt would just sit there with his legs crossed. He'd cross his front legs and just look at him and say, "I dare you to come over here." And it's like these 2 enormous dogs were scared to death of this cat, who was like 1/10 their size. It was absolutely amazing. But
You know,
we had him
the way
train our
raccoons. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We had him train all of our dogs. When we got them as puppies, so that they wouldn't attack the cats. He did a really good job. He did too good a job, but anyway.
I was just thinking, you would think that raccoons could like band together and get like little sticks and sharpen the end, and because they've got the opposable thumbs and they can be bipedal for short amounts of time. So it seems like they could gang up on dogs with little sticks and just poke them until they go away.
Yeah, mine dance around a fire out there chanting, waiting for me to come and feed them. And they have spears, and they're dancing around, and
they're crafting tools now. They've moved into the Paleolithic era.
Oh yeah, yep. If you feed them enough.
Gura's revealed his true colors.
Dogs are my favorite. Is that his true answers?
No, the most recent one.
It's taken out the fun of voting. Oh yeah, I know. He always votes. Gura, I do the same for you, and. That's why I used to like Gurmania, because he liked dogs. That's why I used to like him. So,
does Gurmania also like raccoons? I think that might be an important question for this channel.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna help.
Well, here's an even more important question: does he like raccoon dogs?
Raccoon dogs. I call them coon bears because they're more related to bears. They don't look like bears.
This picture I have up here says the caption is "The revolution has begun."
Yeah.
So when your cat's outside, does it have a bell on or something to warn little birdies?
No.
My cats never did. Rarely they catch a bird. They'd usually catch more mice and rats than birds.
My cat catches a lot of birds. He very infrequently hurts them. He just brings them into the house and lets them go because he likes birds, I think. I don't know what his deal is.
That's interesting.
There's my neighbor's cat. It sits under my bird feeder and gets my birds when I sit out there, and I like to sit out there and watch them. That's why I have my bird feeder. So talk to the neighbor about it, and they put a bell on it, and now that it kind of warns the birds to fly away.
In gaming, I think they call that parking.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's like sitting there by the resources and
the respawn center. Yeah.
Yeah.
That cat's cheating.
Well,
if you don't like it, you can always spray it with water. Just get a squirt gun, long distance squirt gun, and it'll get the message. They're
that's
pretty
the thing. I like cats too. I don't like cats being outside. They're cats because they're an invasive species. They're invasive here,
but their nature is they need to get out and climb around and exercise as well, right? Yeah. So it's kind of yes and no, right?
Well, I've got mine in a fenced-in yard. It's fenced, on the top too. So there's a ceiling fence. The problem is these dumb birds get in there, and it's instead of going through the fence is plenty big enough for the bird to get back out, but it tries to fly out. And then I've watched Loki go out there, and he'll jump 3 feet and grab a bird right out of the air, and then he runs in the house with it going round, round. He lets it go, and then I got to catch it with a net and bring it back outside. And it just goes on and on.
I've had to do that too. Yeah.
Catching.
We had a hummingbird get stuck in our house one summer. It was it like got so freaked out like had a mini heart attack or whatever, and we thought it was dead, and we took it out and laid it on the patio and sat there for a few minutes, and it just perked up and flew away.
Could have been plain dead.
Well, changing the C of that word to an R. Did I ever tell you guys about the initially frightening experience I had with a rat in our house?
Oh, no.
So I was, So my parents were just beginning to go to sleep, and I was kind of brushing my teeth, preparing to do that. And so I turned the corner around my room, and there was a rat on the floor, presumably had fallen out of the attic. And to put it bluntly, it was excreting some bodily fluids, and fortunately, we kind of put it in a little, I forget exactly what it was, but it was like something for Chinese food or chicken or something like that. Like little.
You see that cat?
What the heck?
Yeah, this cat very skillfully catches the squirrel. Here, you'll see in just a moment.
Oh,
Wow. Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
I love that video. I've seen
Cats
that
are
before.
amazing hunters. Yeah.
See how cats are just they're too good. They're too good of a predator. They are.
Yeah.
See how high
Very
did that
effective.
cat just jump there? What, like 5.5 feet?
Yeah.
That
Probably.
squirrel?
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
six.
there's something else.
And they're stealthy and
Well coordinated.
mm-hmm.
They
Great
land on their
vision.
feet pretty much every time.
They have patience. That's like they'll sit and wait for 6 hours by the refrigerator for the mouse to come out. And I could never do. I used to go deer hunting, and everybody would be sitting in stands, and I could sit in a stand for about 5 minutes, and I had to get out and start walking around. So I ended up being the guy that chased the deer to everybody else. So, but cats, 6 hours, maybe 8, like I'll go to sleep, wake up 6 hours later, cat's still in the same exact spot, hasn't moved, staring at the refrigerator. It's like, what do you got there?
can I give another challenge question for you guys by changing the C to a B now?
Oh, bats. Oh no, bats.
All right,
What
all
about
right.
bats?
Here's the challenge question. All right, and of course it's phylogeny related. So, which are bats more close? Well, actually, prerequisite question for that. Does anyone know what a colugo is?
What?
Yes.
Colugo. Okay.
Yes, I know what a colugo is.
Okay. So, well, let everyone else answer first before BrainBug goes. So, like,
BrainBug, you know it all.
But basically, which is more closely related to a bat, a colugo or a deer?
Just for kicks, I'm going to say deer because I really don't know.
I'm going to say deer because they used to think, right?
Yeah. Well, yep, you're right on that. You used to think bats were more closely related to primates because their general anatomy, but now, nope, they're actually more closely related to insectivores and carnivorans and ungulates in that big group called Laurasia faria. Yeah.
Are they closer to colugo then or to deer?
No, colugos are actually closer to primates.
So what's a colugo?
It's a gliding lemur, basically. Well, it's not really a lemur, but that's what it kind of looks like. Yeah.
A gliding lemur-like creature.
Mm-hmm.
See, I knew you would know that, BrainBug. So
there are people who believe bats are birds.
Yeah,
and
we know where that
insects.
comes from. Sorry.
The Bible calls them insects anyway, swarming things.
Oh, really? They call them insects?
Oh,
well,
wow.
what is the kind? It's a kind. Those are the creeping things.
I thought they called them birds, but okay.
Well, and I think there's a verse where they call them birds too. But
yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Those things do look bat-like, though, in a way.
So they're both birds and insects?
Well, locusts are birds too.
Oh.
Well, I tell you that my raccoons sit up on my fence, and there's a windowsill, and they eat hundreds of bugs while they're sitting there. They just sit and peck the bugs and pick them up. So raccoons eat insects.
Get possums out there?
Oh yeah. They're rare, but I've had about 3 or 4 of them, and I've managed to almost tame them. We've had 2 in the house. The little ones come through the cat door and they eat dog food, and then like in the middle of the night I'll hear this crunch, 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 and I'll get up and yell at the cats, because I think they're licking themselves or something, and then it goes on and on. And then I got up and like this strange gray thing. I got up one night after yelling at my cat about it. I didn't just yell at my cat, I sprayed my cat with water because this old cat would sit and lick itself and make this noise over and over again. So I kept hearing it. So I actually sprayed the poor cat, right? And then the cat ran off and I still heard the crunching. So I went in the other room and some little gray thing ran off or ran into this cat tube we had, and then quickly disappeared. So I didn't know where the hell it went. So I saw, and we have black cats. So I called my son up, and it was like gray, and it had weird fur. It didn't look like cat fur. So I called my son at 2 a.m, and I said, "We have a chupacabra in the house." And he was quite concerned about my mental health. But then it went on and on for about 2 hours, and finally I found the thing. And what it did is it would run away, and it would get under my recliner and hang from the recliner, hang from the top of it, right? So that I couldn't see it on the floor. And you had to look up, but it was a possum, and it took forever to get rid of that damn thing. It's just like, holy shit.
That's
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
In St. Paul, Minnesota, the police had to put out a public bulletin to ask people to quit dialing 911 because possums were chasing them in the parking lots. Because these people, they were afraid of the possums, and the possums would run at them. So they called the police, right? And they said, stop doing that. Possums aren't going to hurt you. It's like, anyway, go ahead, Dessel.
I wanted to clean up something I said before. I was talking about the Phototransduction Cascade, and Andrew was asking me whether or not that works, like, any kind of enzymatic reaction. And I kind of absolutely said yes to that, but actually I don't think that's right. That's not really what I mean. With the enzymes, you just have to couple it with something that increases the threshold of the reaction. So you give it this activating energy. But what I'm talking about here are actually differences in charge across a membrane.
Right. What I meant earlier was signal transduction pathways.
Okay. All right. That's cool. That's
right. I didn't use the correct terminology there.
Okay. I appreciate you. Yeah, because I was thinking about when I said yes to that question. I was like, wait a minute, should I have said yes to that? But that clears it up. Okay.
I love hanging out with all these smart people. You guys are. Yeah.
I agree.
So I gotta watch this one.
Okay, so I got a question. I'm still stuck on Kaluga, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
You say it's not a bat, but it's not a lemur either.
Right. It's closely related to primates, but it's not a primate.
They're very interesting looking, that's for sure.
Yeah. It looks like a flying primate.
It does. They really look like a more basal, maybe lemur look to them.
I think don't they glide the longest distances or something like that?
They glide pretty far. I don't know. I think there's flying squirrels that glide further than them, but
okay.
But they're large bodied too. I think that they may be one of the largest bodied extant gliding organism. I think that's the case. But
So
they're in Primatomorpha, so they are closely related. I mean, primates are their closest.
Sorry, wouldn't that be terrifying though if you had a gliding animal the size of an Ashdarkid, like Quetzalcoatlus or something like that? That would be horrifying.
They used to argue that Quetzalcoatlus couldn't have flown under its own power, and that it was completely terrestrial. I always thought that was a weird theory.
Right.
So is it Dermoptera? Yeah. Okay. Dermoptera. So it's wow. Here's primates.
You are contigliers over there with primates, and then on the other side there's Laurasiopharia with most things we think of as placental mammals.
Yeah.
Legomorpha. Is that a fancy name for rabbit? Legomorpha?
Yeah, that's a group for rabbits, hares, stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay.
Oh, Legomorpha. Yeah.
It's sister clade with Rodentia.
Yeah.
That's Gliers, which they used to be have us closer related with them too when they build these trees, but they've split it off now where you see that Euarchia contigliers, and then you got the split there with lagomorphs.
It's 2 feet across.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I don't know. Mammal phylogeny is so interesting because it looks, well, I mean, it's based on data, but it looks so unintuitive. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I always like how orderly carnivora is, how orderly it splits, and
Right.
you know, between feliforms and caniforms, and then I'd say when it comes to mammals, that carnivora is probably my favorite blade.
Like hyenas, they're closer to felids than they are to.
They're feliforms.
Well, so they're an outgroup for primates, kind of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Is Saint Bernard the biggest dog?
I think they
Mine's
bred some
biggest.
that are bigger, but
What about wolfhound? Irish wolfhounds.
Irish and Great Danes. Great Danes are
Okay.
massive.
Yeah, we've bred dogs to incredible length. Like you don't see this kind of diversity with cats that you see with dogs.
we had a Saint that ran 260 pounds. He was a little bigger than usual. So
We've
When
been
they
Massive.
we've been
stand up on their
domesticating
back legs, how tall can they get?
it was about waist high, something like that.
Huh.
I don't know, but it was just wide and big, and it actually took out my knee. I had to have knee surgery because it was playing with another Saint Bernard, and they were whirling like in a circle, and they hit me from the side and ripped my cartilage.
Gee.
Yeah, so I got took out by a almost 300-pound dog and another 150-pound dog. So
Holy cow.
and my ex-wife called me a whiner because I whined about my knee. It's like, oh, you whiner. It's like, you can take it. It's like,
I don't know if that's lack of empathy or total confidence.
I think it was like total lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Is what I'm going to go with.
Just to comment on something you said earlier, Randolph, aren't you kind of feeling a bit silly that you could breed a dog that size, but you couldn't breed one as large as an elephant or Texas?
Yeah, right.
I don't remember saying that, but okay.
Clifford.
Inside reference for anyone who got it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So at what
is-
point in the evolution of primates do you think that we lost the tapetum lucidum in their eyes?
Yeah, that you were talking about that with somebody. Somebody was talking about a Bigfoot and its eyes glowed or something like that.
Yeah, that's what when Orge was having his debate with this guy named Patrick Vaughn. He was talking about he was going through a short list of commonalities in Bigfoot sightings that he thinks is evidence. Of course, it's all anecdotal evidence, but of animals of them having eye shine, and as hominids, we don't have eye shine. There's no hominid with eye shine. It's a characteristic of our clade.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, isn't it more reasonable to assume that like a Gigantopithecus survived until this time and migrated into North America than big hairy hominins exist now in North America?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how well the Gigantopithecus theory would hold up, though, because they allegedly I don't know a lot about it, the research into it, but they were bamboo feeders. So
right. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Sasquatch says, "Believe in yourself, even when no one else will."
Wow. And he should know. He should know.
Yep.
But I think people are seeing bears and owls and stuff when they see eye shine in the woods like that. Probably bears, considering the area that they're in. Yeah.
Well, that seems to be a general theme with like cryptozoology, like the lone survivor from a bygone age or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is you look at like the core examples of the Bigfoot culture, the things like the Minnesota Iceman and stuff like that. Stuff that was, we're pretty confident these days with all the research that's been done into it that they were hoaxes. The Patterson Gimlin footage is the kind of the last holdover from that people still say, hey, maybe this is something real. But like the footprints that started the whole phenomena back in the 60s up in Northern California, that was shown to be wood carved feet. So all the core stuff that goes into building these legends kind of crumbles as you start to dig into it and look at it. It's kind of sad because I actually started off being like, kind of optimistic about the idea of some cryptid being real. Some of them, something. And there's a few I still hold out for. I'd love to see a black cougar captured and filmed in my lifetime. That'd be amazing.
I remember when my son first asked me what I thought about Bigfoot, if I believed he existed or not. Oh, he wanted so bad for me to believe in Bigfoot. I told him it's okay if you still believe in Bigfoot, but I gave him the reasons why I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's tough. That's tough looking at the kid wants so badly to believe in things, and then it just kind of you just have to tell him no. There's this thing called reality, and
you get into cryptozoology too. You run smack headfirst into some young Earth creation stuff too, because the living dinosaurs, they love living dinosaurs.
I remember when I was a kid, aliens, UFOs and shit. My dad, he was the skeptic, and I just really wanted to believe in them. And I'm going through the same thing.
Now, I will say that as far as aliens are concerned, I believe that there probably are aliens. I think that statistically there probably are. I don't think that they visited us. I don't think that there's any close enough to ever visit us, but welcome to be proven wrong about that, of course, because I would love for aliens, for like hyper advanced aliens to be real.
Well, it kind of reminds me of the Richard Feynman quote, science is about not fooling yourself, and you're the easiest person to fool. And that includes everyone in this panel, by the way.
Well, yeah, I agree with
indeed,
that.
Dude, indeed.
I always have to. There's a kid in my head that still wants to. What if this? What if that? And I have to quiet that voice down with okay, well, let's look at the research into this topic and see what it says.
Yeah.
It's constant critiquing of your own biases.
Right. Exactly.
What do we got now, Randolph? Blow him up.
Yeah, blow it up.
People always ask, where's Ness monster? No one ever asks, how's Ness?
Yeah. Ness is looking a little blue today.
Well, there's a meetup group for Nessie and Bigfoot, and other things that nobody believes in, and they get together. It's kind of a little support group they formed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why nobody ever sees them, because they're at this support group all the time.
The original reports of the Loch Ness monster where you described the creature like an otter.
Yeah.
It wasn't even anything like the plesiosaur you see these days.
There he is. He's got a sail. Oh, he's kind of like Dimetrodon or whatever.
This one doesn't look like an otter.
That's a Viking ship.
Yeah.
There's an angel on it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I wonder if people saw a Viking ship and thought, Loch Ness monster.
So I've been waiting for Gurmania to come in. And he's
got some family to get rid of.
Yeah, but he said like 20 minutes ago that they were getting in the car.
Plus, he called 911 about some sort of raccoon emergency.
Uh-oh.
Did you send your raccoons to send your message?
I should send them. Oh, there he is.
Feeds raccoons pies.
You got an army of raccoons?
Yeah, they're probably mine. I sent them out there. Anyone know which Pokey? Good question. Anyway, guys, want to shoot her in the head?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Do we have anything else anyway?
No, I don't really have anything.
Not
I
really.
really. Oh my God, Scott disappeared and came back.
Yeah, I clicked on
Ooh,
the wrong.
what do we
That's a
got here?
raccoon.
Oh my
Oh.
God. Yeah, I did a video last night where I've got a couple of them doing that. Look, they keep trying to grab my phone when I go out there, and I put the phone down at their level. And
Why is
sooner or
this
later,
a light?
huh?
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've seen some really wonderful videos of raccoons coming in and stealing the dog food. They're so cool. They can reach and grab things. I mean, they're so primate. Like I think give them a few million years, and these guys are going to, especially if we don't get vaccinated, the raccoons are going to be the next takeover. Yeah.
Well, the rabies shot you need to get every 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
Because it wears out.
Yep.
Its effects wear out. I mean.
I read a couple articles that indicated that rabies thing with raccoons was not as real as people think. I don't know.
Well,
I've never
animals, you can get it, and bites from wild animals, or if you get injured in wild place. Or I was in a public washroom at one of the local parks here many years ago, and the door handle cut me. It acted weird because somebody had vandalized it. And so I went out. There was paramedics there already for an event that was going on. So they took care of it and said, go get a rabies vaccine from your doctor. Since you don't remember the last time you had one, you need to get it every 10 years. So the doctor confirmed that. So everything's fine. But, we've got to keep these vaccines up to date. And then to me, that's the lazy solution to it's the easy way to fight off illnesses illnesses anyway, is to get vaccinated. Yeah, take the lazy choice. That's what I'm trying to promote with people. Be lazy, get vaccinated.
I love getting vaccines of any kind. I'll take any vaccine they got at this point.
Hey, real quick, Randolph, can you go back to the previous one? There we go.
I love the look of this. I love this one. Yeah.
Right. Why does the lighting make it look like the raccoon's a stuffed puppet or something?
Because he's so close, I think, to the light source, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, it's infrared light, remember. So it's probably shining more on the raccoon now. And see, the trees in the background are darker than the deer.
Yeah, he popped up right in front of the camera.
Curious about the camera, I guess.
Yeah,
I'd say the raccoon probably set it off.
Yeah,
such a perfect shot.
Yeah,
I don't know where it's from, but it's great.
Yeah,
raccoon caught red-handed trying to kidnap deer.
Yeah.
You think there's a feed trap there? But there's corn all over the ground there.
Trying to steal a camera. I don't know.
Here's another one, nighttime shot.
Oh my God!
They ride around on other animals.
That's cool.
They are awesome. Yeah. And they the interesting thing about them is when they're around squirrels or cats, they don't show any aggression at all or any fear. They just totally ignore each other. It's like my cats. If they come in the yard, my cats are territorial. They'll growl at them a little bit, but the raccoons pay no attention to them at all. Just like, chill, dude. I'm busy. Because I think they're so confident in their ability to evade predators and stuff that I don't know.
Well, they're generalists.
Yeah, he's standing up, looking for fish.
Is he standing on an alligator?
I believe
he is. Oh, I didn't see. I thought it was a gator.
These guys are brave. I tell you, they're going to take over.
Oh my God!
They don't care. Yeah, they're fearless.
We'll be looking at the cockroaches and all them to take over, but it's going to be the raccoons.
Raccoons riding their domesticated alligators.
Raccoons forget ferry crossings. We now have gator crossings.
Wow.
That reminds me of another one. I'll just quickly try to find it here. But Let me see. It makes fun of creationists, so you know it's going to be good.
Hey, Speed, you should retitle this to Saturday Night the Atheists, now including raccoons.
Yeah, raccoon version.
I don't mind if you just do wildlife photography slideshow while we talk.
Yeah,
is there a vaccine? Is there a vaccine for creationists?
There should be, but they won't take it, even if it's for them.
I got bit by one though.
A lot of them are anti-vaxxers, right? So
yeah, they won't take it.
They sure are.
Oh, at nighttime they get into food and stuff too. These raccoons, and they're spilling it out for everybody else. I'm sorry, I'm just quickly trying to find this one. Just take me a sec, but it'll be worth the wait if I can find it.
When I was younger, we raised a baby raccoon till it was about, I don't know, about the size of a cat, and then it got a little too much to handle. It would go turn on the sinks and plug the drains out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was really smart. It always wanted to stick its food in the water, so they want fresh running water.
There you go.
Well, that must be it.
What the hell?
Creationists think Australian fauna traveled to the Middle East to hop on Noah's Ark.
That's pretty good.
There's only one of each here, though, not two. Oops.
I'm sure the second group is somewhere off camera.
Yeah, there's probably another crocodile off camera with everybody on
taking the picture. Yeah.
Well, there's two kangaroos.
Oh yeah. Well, one's a baby though. Oh, but the Bible's okay with incest.
Yeah. I was thinking that's really not an inhibition.
Yeah.
I got one for you.
All right, let's see it.
Let's see here. Oh,
I love this picture. It's so good, though. I really like the raccoon doing the close-up, though. That was funny.
This is one of those crummy sites, so I'm not entirely sure how it's going to play or how visible it's going to be. Hopefully, maybe I can size it up a little bit. I don't know. But anyway, I saw this one a while ago.
You can probably zoom it. There's a zoom button in the bottom right corner of the video.
Oh, there is. Oh yeah, but it'll zoom it.
Fucked this house up good, didn't you?
Oh man.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
This ain't the one I saw, but the one I saw, he was opening the cabinets.
These little bandits.
They just don't give enough, do they?
Is this one kind of
He's proud of himself. I found my way in.
Wow, that's hilarious. Chewing the walls.
He's just so proud.
Looks like he's completely.
I don't know what this is.
Serious damage.
Oh, he's feeding them.
Hey, it's just like you, man. Feeding raccoons.
Yeah. He's rewarding them for ripping a hole through his wall. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a happy looking.
Began with the kitchen. Now it begins with the bathroom.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Yeah, this is the one where. Okay, watch this. Look at this shit.
Oh wow.
Oh, gonna make some muffins. Gonna make cupcakes.
I hate you.
Maybe no cupcakes today.
He's yelling, "I hate you." You can't hear the audio, right?
Get out.
Okay.
I heard
out.
That. It sounded like Germania screaming. It sounded like Germania yelling.
Yeah. Speaking of Germania, what happened to that guy?
He says he wants one.
Yeah. Wants a raccoon like that.
He wants a raccoon.
Germania, come on in now. We're going to shoot her in the head. So, anyway. So, guys, we're going to end the stream, okay, dude?
Sure.
Goodbye, crew world.
Goodbye.
Good night, everyone. cartoons will rule the world.